This is Richard White. I'm being stalked. Something's out here. It's not afraid of me. The radio crackles, then cuts to static. Morning sunlight barely filters through the dense canopy of British Columbia's backcountry. Damp moss clings to everything. Richard's tent flaps gently in the wind, empty. His drone footage from the night before plays back on a tablet screen, still recording. Two eyes gleam beyond the tree line. Not wolf eyes. Too wide apart. Too steady. We cut to earlier that morning. Richard zips his jacket up to his chin, breath fogging in the cold air. Kill sights a few clicks north, he mutters into his recorder. No new prints yet. Wolves are holding back. He checks his batteries, packs the drone, leaves a note for his assistant. Be back by noon. Then he disappears into the woods. The camera strapped to his chest records everything. Trees creak above him. Somewhere in the distance, a branch snaps. He pauses. I think, I'm not alone out here. His voice is steady, but lower now. Quieter. He sets up at the edge of the kill zone. Bones lie scattered. Ribcage exposed, gnawed clean. Flies buzz low. His hands are shaking now as he adjusts the focus ring. Behind him, leaves rustle. He turns. Nothing. Then, another sound. A low growl. Deep. Not canine. Richard freezes. The camera wobbles slightly in his hands. This isn't a wolf, he whispers. It's heavier. Slower. Watching. He scans the brush. His breath stops. The lens zooms. And there, barely visible, a massive shape slips behind a tree. Brown-black fur. Silent as mist. Jesus, he breathes. What is that? He reaches for his radio. Julia, pick up. Something's out here. Bigger than. A crash. The audio spikes. A scream. Then silence. The last frame on the camera? The ground. Spinning. Then still. Back in the present, rescue crews move through the area. They find his pack torn open. His notebook stained with blood. The words smeared but one line still clear. Predator, not wolf, watches like a man. No body. No camera. Only questions. Richard spent decades tracking apex predators. But in that forest, he wasn't the one hunting anymore. The second they know you're watching, Richard once said, you've already failed. He wasn't just a wildlife photographer. He was a listener, a watcher, someone who didn't chase animals, but waited for them to come to him. His friends called him the whisperer of the wild. There's old footage of him, kneeling in the snow, camera balanced on his knee. A gray wolf trots just 10 feet away. Richard doesn't flinch. He smiles. They're not monsters, he told a group of students once. They're smart. Sensitive. They read fear like a book. He lifts his sleeve in a podcast interview, revealing faint teeth scars. Laughs. Curious pup. Nipped me before I could back off. Not aggressive, just bold. That's how he was. Calm. Unshaken. He spent months embedded near a migrating pack, journaling their routines. Sketching pups. Mapping out hunting trails. Wolves, he taught, don't see humans as prey. They're cautious, even timid. But he had one warning. If prey vanishes, or something threatens their den, that's when you watch your back. Flashbacks show a softer side. Richard huddled by a fire with his assistant Julia, hands wrapped around tin mugs. See that scar? He grins. That was alpha number 3. Thought my camera bag was food. Julia chuckles. One day you're gonna get too close. He shakes his head. They know me. But his field notes began to shift. The elk herds were gone, migrated too early. Pups were disappearing. Richard noted increased pacing, unusual vocalizations, restlessness at dusk. He recorded one howl pattern that lasted 9 minutes. That wasn't normal. In a voice memo, he whispers, the forest feels tense. Even the air's heavy. It's like they're waiting for something. Still, he brushed it off. I know them, he said. They wouldn't turn on me. But his final journal entry tells another story. The forest is too quiet tonight. Even the wolves are uneasy. His handwriting wavers. There's a smudge at the bottom, maybe from ash. Or something wetter. Richard loved the wild, respected it. But he made one fatal mistake. He assumed it would never change on him. They are hunting me. That was the last line Richard White ever recorded. Just 48 hours earlier, he'd laughed off the warnings. A ranger had flagged him down. People keep losing pets. Cats. Even a couple of dogs. Don't wander too far past timberline. Richard just smiled. Wolves don't hunt dogs. Then an old hunter stepped forward, voice gravelly. These ain't the same wolves anymore. They're desperate. Richard nodded respectfully, but his mind was elsewhere, on paw prints, patterns, and getting the perfect shot. He followed the trails deeper, found fresh kills, ripped deer carcasses, but the bite marks didn't line up. Not food kills. They were torn apart, left behind. A show of dominance. In his notebook, he scribbled, "Kill not for hunger." A message. That night, he set up a motion-triggered camera outside his tent. Just beyond the lens, two yellow eyes hovered, still, watching. Not running. Not afraid. He whispered into his recorder. Territories changed hands. New alpha maybe. Biologists say when an alpha falls, by disease, a hunter, or a rival, the pack spirals. Hierarchies collapse. Instincts spike. Unpredictable. Richard knew this. But he didn't leave. Instead, he captured a lone female pacing just beyond camp. Thin. Limping. Watching him from the brush. Then came the night. His recorder clicks on. Wind rustles the tent walls. Then, a crunch. Footsteps. Not one. Several. Moving in a slow circle. A low snarl breaks the silence. Then a sharp bark. Quick. Authoritative. Not playful. Not curious. Richard gasps awake. "What the hell?" he whispers. His breath is ragged. The tent flaps violently. Something brushes against the nylon. Then stillness. He holds his breath. The recorder keeps rolling. "Too close," he mutters. Morning comes, but it's not calm. He packs fast. No breakfast. No fire. His GoPro shows him walking. Fast. Panicked. The camera jostles as he turns sharply. Again. Again. Heavy breathing. Then growling. Closer now. He doesn't run. Not yet. "I'm being followed," he whispers. "They're flanking me." The footage cuts to a blur of trees. A sudden spin. Twigs crack behind him. And then, clear, close, raw. "They are hunting me." That audio was recovered. But Richard never was. What the camera caught in those last moments wasn't just a man lost in the wild. It was something else entirely. A shift. A warning. Chapter 5. Where the footage ends, 550 words. The screen flickers. A shaky timestamp. 7:42 a.m. Richard's breath is ragged. His GoPro bounces with every step. "Almost there," he mutters. Ranger outposts close. Half a mile, maybe less. Branches snap behind him. He whips the camera around. Nothing. Then, a rustle. The footage jerks. A blur of sky, spinning trees. The camera drops. From the ground, it keeps recording. A growl. Low. Close. Then his voice, terrified, breathless. "No, no." A scream, cut short. Snarls erupt. Bark tears. A heavy thud. Then, silence. Static hums. The lens tilts sideways, catching the dance of leaves in the breeze. The forest settles like nothing happened. That was the last moment Richard White was seen alive. Search teams arrived 3 days later. The ranger station was just a 15-minute hike from where the footage ended. They found torn scraps of his jacket snagged on a branch. Claw marks, deep and furious, raked across a tree trunk. Blood, smeared low, then gone, soaked into the moss. But no body, only the footage. Experts later examined it. Wildlife biologist Dr. Collins stated, this wasn't a standard pack behavior. It looked like a splinter group, probably unstable, maybe starving, maybe confused. Another added, he walked into a kill zone, a fresh one. That triggers instinct. Even familiarity can't stop it. Julia, his assistant, watched the footage once. Just once. Then she hiked into the clearing alone. Camera in hand. Journal in her pack. She stood in the exact spot his last scream echoed. Quiet. Cold. She knelt, opened his journal to the last page. His handwriting shaky but still sharp. They're not acting right. Something's off. Still, I need to see it through. She closed the book, took off the lens cap from his backup camera, still tucked in his gear bag, and clicked it shut. Set it gently on the forest floor, and whispered, you told their story. I wish someone could have told yours. Then she stood, walked away, left nothing but silence. Richard didn't die because he was reckless. He died because he believed. Believed that by understanding the wild, he could live alongside it. That empathy was enough. But nature doesn't grant immunity for admiration. It listens. It waits. And sometimes, it bares its teeth. Even the most experienced can underestimate the wild. Not out of arrogance, but love. In nature, admiration doesn't grant immunity. It demands respect. Richard knew the forest's beauty, but in the end, it showed its teeth. If this story moved you, share it, so Richard's voice, and the warning he left behind, isn't lost in the trees.